For more on this, we're now joined by Livhuwani Mammburu, who is the NUM National Spokesperson, and he joins us via our video link. Livhuwani, thank you so much for joining us this evening here in SABC News. I mean, more than 400 mine workers are being dismissed there, and of course, you are now conducting this appeals process. Let's start off here. Was the proper procedure followed when these mine workers were dismissed?
One thing that we can say that there were disciplinary hearings that were held that led to the situation that happened today. As you remember, there were two incidences that happened. The first incident was a hostage situation in October, where the majority of our members were forced to participate in a hostage situation underground. And a lot of our members were assaulted and badly beaten. Some of them ended up in an ICU. And there was also a second situation that happened in November. It was again a hostage situation where Solidarity and NUM members were brutally assaulted and then beaten up. And then some of our members again ended up in ICU. But as the National Union of Mineworkers, we are not happy with the blanket approach that was taken by the mine management or by the company to dismiss 445 workers, because some of these employees who were dismissed were forced to be part of that hostage situation. And today we were at the mine, where a majority of them, a lot of them came to us, to the NUM, to say that I was unfairly dismissed. I want the NUM to represent them, to represent me in appeals.
And, you know, when you appeal these dismissals, what exactly will you be challenging? I mean, you are saying that, you know, there was this illegal sit-in which took place, and you are saying that some of your members were even assaulted, and you go as far as saying that there's this blanket approach now, and some people did not deserve these dismissal letters. So what exactly will you be challenging here when you go to the appeals process?
We are challenging the blanket approach that says that everybody that participated in that hostage situation must be dismissed, whereas there are members who were forced against their will to be part of that hostage situation. That is why we are saying that it was a blanket approach. A proper investigation should have been done to find out who was responsible for the hostage situation. They should be targeting the instigators of those two incidences.
Do the mine workers know exactly who were the people behind this sit-in?
The problem is that a lot of mine workers are scared to speak out, and that is what is leading to what is happening. But definitely there were instigators that were even identified by the management.
And overall, I mean, if, you know, there's more than 400 people here being dismissed, and we now know from 401, it's now 445. And I mean, these are people who have responsibilities. I mean, some of them saying that they didn't even receive their December salaries, and they only got these dismissal letters now. I mean, what do you make of that? That some of them were not even informed about this decision, especially during a very crucial time where families come together, and usually during the festive season, more money is required by families.
Unfortunately, I can't speak for the management, but what I can tell you, what I know, is that there were disciplinary hearings before these dismissals could happen. All members who have been dismissed participated in disciplinary hearings last year.
And of course, last year, because of the protest which took place, you know, because of the underground sit-in, there were issues that, you know, members of the mine had actually raised, and they were saying that they want to be moved from the NUM, and they wanted to join the other union, which is AMCU. And, you know, there was the issue around this closed shop agreement. Has that now been resolved, and can now workers be allowed to join whichever party they see fit?
Yeah, definitely you are right that the main demand of that led to those two hostage situation was a close shop agreement that the NUM had at the mine. But after the first hostage situation that led to a majority of our members being brutally assaulted and beaten, the NUM took a decision that we are going to cancel the close shop agreement, and we cancelled that shop agreement. And then the last day of that close shop agreement was on the 14th of December. The reason why we did that, it was because we wanted to see stability at the mine, and we also wanted to safeguard the job of our members. We did not want to see any violence as the National Union of Mine Workers. As we speak, there is going to be a verification process that will be done under the auspices of the CCMA, but I don't know when is that verification process and is going to happen. But any member now, any member is free to join the union of his or her choice.
And going back to the appeals process, which will be followed, when, will the hearings start for these workers? I mean, most of them, looking at the clips that we played a bit earlier on, most of them are stranded and, they are just trying to ensure that maybe come tomorrow, they will be back at work. So when will this process start? How soon can we see these hearings take place?
We had a meeting with our branch today at Grootvlei, where these workers were being issued with dismissal letters. From what I've been informed is that some of this appeals process will happen next week.
All right. Livhuwani, thank you so much for your time this evening. That is Livhuwani Mammburu. He is the NUM national spokesperson. They're just talking about those workers who have received dismissal letters. That number shooting up from 401 to 445 mine workers.